So, when kids are having a tantrum, or things are, they're having a meltdown, it's they're dysregulated, right? Their nervous system is offline. They are in their emotion center of their brain. There's no access to their prefrontal cortex where they can, get online and try to figure out how to, problem solve in that moment. They're just kind of gone. I liken it to, and this is a generational thing, and maybe some people won't understand, but when in the Charlie Brown cartoons, there's only kids, right? And if there are parents, they're never in the frame, but you sometimes can hear them talking, but you can't actually hear what they're saying. They just go rah, 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 rah. And to me, a child who's in the middle of a meltdown is kind of like in a Charlie Brown cartoon. Like, it doesn't matter what you say, they're just hearing wah 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 because they're gone. They're like literally hijacked by their emotions. Their nervous system has them in fight or flight or freeze mode, and there's no getting there. So then what do you do, right? So really the only thing immediately, the first thing is to pause, because of what I talked about earlier, the idea that you might be embarrassed because you're out at a friend's house, or you might be in the middle of Target, or you need to get someplace and you're starting to get heated. So the very first thing is to pause, because parents want to be able to respond rather than react, right? So pausing and figuring out and this is so personal to each individual parent, right? To all of us humans, right? Is how can I stay calm in this moment so that I then can lend my calm to my child? Because only by helping my child calm down can we move forward. So the first thing is to be calm, to use your own coping skills for getting calm, whether that's taking a deep breath, counting backwards from 5. Some people like to get a sip of water if they have a water bottle on hand. If it's really bad and it's safe to leave your child, you might just leave them for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, maybe turn your back for 10 seconds so that you can get yourself in a place where you can then respond. And, if a child is flailing around, you might only have 5 seconds to make that pause, but you do what you can. And the second piece is to just, again, like contain that fire. And for some, it's going to look different for every child. But one thing that I often recommend to parents is to take them to a smaller place if you can. So if you're in the middle of a really huge box store like Target, you might need to scoop them up in your arms if they're of that age and take them to the car and give them an opportunity to calm down. And it's not a punishment like, oh, we're leaving, you're in trouble. And it's certainly not convenient to leave Target when you're in the middle of your shopping. I get it. But if we really want to tend to that child who's in the middle of that meltdown, is to take them to a smaller place. Maybe if you're in a larger space in your room, you can go to a smaller place, a smaller room in your home. One thing that I recommend to a lot of my parents is to create like a calm down corner, or have a calm down box of things in that really help your child to calm, where maybe it's a cozy place with pillows, blankets, other sensory items that sometimes can really help calm the nervous system in the middle of a meltdown. But the most important piece of any of that is to, as long as you're calm, is to stay with your child, right? They need you in that moment. They're dysregulated. You want to get them back to a state of regulation. And between dysregulation and regulation is co-regulation. And that's where a child who's dysregulated needs to be able to re-regulate their nervous system, by co-regulating with someone whose nervous system is calm, which is why it's so important that you're in a calm state. And that co-regulation is the space between dysregulation and regulation. And your child needs to do that with you or with the caregiver. And that's why that, being able to pause and gather yourself is so important. So that in the moment, that containment, I think, really is the first piece. Once the child's back to regulation, then you can go into whether it's problem solving or boundary setting. If they're hitting or kicking, that's when you say you can't hit or kick. But children can't learn when they're not relaxed. So when a child is in a meltdown and a tantrum, there's no point in, you're getting the Charlie Brown wah wah wah, right? There's no reason to rationalize with them, oh, well, we can pick out a toy tomorrow, or you can play with that toy later. It doesn't matter. They can't hear you. So that point of problem solving or setting boundaries or letting them know, it's really, I won't let you hit if it was hitting or kicking or biting, that needs to be saved for later once they're back in that regulated state.